You just mentioned Big Stretch. There's been people running around, running with rumors. Tupac actually mentioned that he thought that Big Stretch had betrayed him in the situation in New York and when he was shot in New York. And then subsequently, Stretch would meet his demise. People have been running rumors and saying things over the internet that Tupac has something to do with the death of Stretch Walker. What do you know about that, and what can you say about that in regards, because you were close to that situation, what can you say about that in regards to what you know in regards to Tupac having anything to do with it, Stretch betraying Tupac, or anything of that nature?
Well, thank you for that question, man, because now I get to talk about something, man, that I kind of mentioned before, but elaborate a little bit more on. So, first of all, Tupac is not a murderer. He's not someone that would kill someone that he had a lot of respect for and that he worked with. Tupac not only knew Stretch, Tupac had relationships with his brother Madge. Shout out to Madge. He had a good relationship with Stretch girl, because, Stretch and Tupac were very close. So Tupac had relationships with Stretch family as Stretch had relationships with Tupac's family. Me and Stretch was super cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there were times when I spent more time, when we was on the road, there were times that I spent more time with Stretch than I did with Pop. Because Stretch was funny. He was a street dude. I was a street dude. He understood what goes on. And, he was thorough. You know what I'm saying? So there was we had a lot in common as far as being dudes from the street. So I spent a lot of time with Stretch. It's hard for me to accept what Dexter Isaac said about Stretch. I don't know if you heard what Dexter Isaac alleged or claimed, but he claimed that Stretch gave him and the guys that was with him, Dexter Isaac meaning him, the logistics of where Pac was going to be, the time that Pac was going to be there. You know what I'm saying? I find that difficult to believe. Or I don't want to believe it. If it's true, then Stretch was a traitor. Plain and simple. He was a traitor. Out of jealousy, out of whatever reason, he betrayed Tupac. He betrayed all of us.
So you basically saying that Stretch actually betrayed Tupac?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if what Dexter Isaac is saying is true.
Okay.
Because Dexter Isaac is on the record. He's in a documentary or on a podcast claiming that Stretch gave him and his crew the logistics of where Tupac was going to be, the timing of where Tupac was going to be, where he was going to be, so on and so forth. If what Dexter Isaac is saying is true, then yes, Stretch betrayed Tupac. He betrayed my entire family. He betrayed everyone.
Now, the reason why I say that is because Tupac actually said it in the song.
Mm-hmm.
He said switch sides. I guess his new friends wanted him dead.
Mm-hmm.
So evidently Tupac had felt something in regards to that too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was asking you in regards to that, as well as what you just said about Dexter Isaac and what he had elaborated on about the logistical aspects of what Stretch had allegedly gave him in regards to what Tupac was going to be, so that the situation could actually go down like it did.
Yeah, well, if it's true, like you're right, Tupac did say that in All Odds, against all odds. Yeah, Against All Odds on Machiavelli. He did say that about what you said about Stretch. Switch new sides on him there. He did say that, but like I said, if what Tupac said and if what Dexter Isaac said is true, then Stretch is he betrayed us. He betrayed, and not only did he put, if it's true, he put everyone in danger, you know. And I don't know what his motivation was for that, right? I don't know if they offered him money. I think Dexter Isaac said he gave him a big 8, like uh, 50 grams, 30 grams or something stupid, whatever a big 8 is. I don't remember. I don't know what cocaine, I don't know how to weigh cocaine. I don't know what that is. But
right. Like an eighth,
yeah,
like an eighth of junk.
Yeah, whatever the, you know, like whatever that
Right,
was, like he paid them in cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Stretch,
right.
you know, if it's true, Stretch took the cocaine and sold it or what have you. I don't know, but if it's true, man, Stretch betrayed us, man, and you know, even though I have good memories of Stretch, you know, and even though I don't want to believe those things to be true, if it's true, then man, you know, Stretch is a traitor, man. He betrayed Tupac for nothing, you know. So I wish that there was a way that we can get to the bottom of that. I wish that, because by the way, Stretch brother Madge is, you know, I seen Madge several times after Stretch died and after Pac died. And Madge always denied his brother's involvement in Pac ambush in New York. He would tell me, he said, man, don't believe what you're hearing about my brother, man. My brother would never do that. You know, Madge came to my wedding. He came all the way to New York to my wedding in Atlanta back in 2005, 2004. And he told me that, you know, don't believe what you're hearing about my brother. You know, so it's.
So he said, don't.
Yeah.
He said, don't believe none of that. Basically,
yeah, he said, yeah, he told me and not only him, but some of my old, like, you know, Tupac we had a crew from LA that was part of Thug Life. Strong brothers, man, that I'm still in touch with to this day. You know, brothers that I love, man, they strong. And they would even say to me, Bill, you know, we don't believe that. You know, we don't believe that. So, like I said, man, over the years, I've had a difficult time believing that Stretch actually had something to do with Pac in New York. You know, because of the relationship that we had with Stretch. You know, it's a shock to us. You know what I'm saying? Just like it would be to anybody else. Your closest comrade set you up. Even though we hear that story all the time. Like, this is not something that we know doesn't happen. This happens all the time, every day. You know, so even though I don't want to believe it, if it's true, then, you know, Stretch, man, you know. And I don't want to say nothing disrespectful against his legacy or anything like that. So I just say he betrayed us. You know?